Welcome everybody. It's Betsy and Stacy here from Sunshine Wellness, and we are going to talk about the adrenals today. So I'm sure Stacy has a view on this, but I know that like so many of our clients and people that come to us, they know that they have a slow metabolism. They know that they struggle with their weight and all these other things that they struggle with their cravings and inflammation, but they don't know the root cause. And they have, like, when I ask them about their adrenals, they're like, I've heard of it. And like, I heard that it might be a problem, or maybe it's the cortisol, but they're like, I don't really get it. So I want to talk about today of how your adrenals are such a key piece of this puzzle for your metabolism and how they can make or break your metabolism. So it's a good topic. Am I right, Stace? Like, not many people truly understand how they correlate.
Yeah, I don't think people believe, right? Because
I've heard some like mumbo jumbo. They're like, I've heard that like mumbo jumbo about that.
yeah, it doesn't seem to be like a real thing, right? Because like, why haven't I heard about this so much now? Remember all those commercials a long time ago for like cortisol and like how it made like belly fat and all that sort of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
But they were like done really like sensationally, and it was like so it just seemed really fake. Do you remember those?
I do.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that it could then become something that people dismiss, and because it was sort of like sensationalized in weight loss, like I think it was like for dextrim or something like that. It was something crazy a long time ago.
And it is more of a holistic way of looking at things. When we do dive into what's the root cause of why you can't lose weight or why your metabolism is slow, it's like anytime we're figuring out the root cause, it is more of a natural path, more of a holistic way. And sometimes it gets a little bad rap of being, holistic as in and not true. But I'm with 100% certainty and with as a registered dietitian and a holistic nutritionist and putting it together. And you as a health coach and a trainer, like to understand that adrenals play a huge role. I think more than like anything these days. Like I'd say like 95% of our clients in our program right now, and one of their main issues is their adrenal health. It's getting tough.
Yeah. And I mean, I talk to people day in, day out that, definitely have adrenal either overload or fatigue, or they're approaching burnout. I think overload, let's talk about overload first, like what that would feel like.
Well, I mean, even reverse back a little bit. We don't have to
Okay.
go dive deep, but the adrenal glands are on top of the kidneys and they're small and they have the function of keeping us alive by secreting a stress response, like secreting hormones when our body's in a stress state. And it keeps, it's a good thing. Like we need this in order to survive. But when our lives are busy all the time, or maybe we are women and we've been through a pregnancy or like a hysterectomy or, menopause or something, or any kind of disease state, or you've dieted your whole life, like your adrenals take hits day in, day out. And what tends to happen is you can have different stages with your adrenals. So they tend to go high for a while, and that's where you have stressed adrenals, high cortisol.
Right. And so that can sometimes people really like the way that feels.
Yeah, they do. I can conquer the world. I'm gonna do like 2 workouts today. I feel
Yeah,
really good. And
it can feel really amazing. It can feel buzzy and super like go, go, go. And yeah, you can do all the things. You can have, a to-do list that's like super long, but you can get it all done. But you like can't, like the thought of meditating.
oh God, I can't do that. There's no way I can do that. But I can do this.
Yeah. If I sat down and like took a breath, like my brain would go insane. You know what I mean? Like it would just literally explode out my head.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that's sort of like when your adrenals are high. That's sort of like a first
Yeah.
step. Yeah.
And let's just pause for one sec, just to like put out a question. we're going to talk about stress adrenals and burned out adrenals. And so after listening to this, I just want you to comment and let us know where you are on the spectrum. If you think you have healthy, stressed, or burned out adrenals, or somewhere, sometimes it's in between.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so explain the next one, Stacey, if you
Well,
would.
let's talk too about like how I mean, we said a little bit about how you feel when they're stressed and they're go, 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 right? So, I mean, you
And those
feel,
people tend to self-medicate a lot with coffee,
mhm.
and
It kind of like puts fuel onto the fire.
yeah.
Like if the adrenals and the cortisol is the fire, the caffeine is like gasoline, right? So now we're like, we were here, but now we're here.
Yeah.
We just go
Yeah.
100%, 100 miles per hour. And like not, you don't always have like a hard time losing weight at this time, at this point.
No,
Sometimes
it's only like when it gets to the higher points. And let's just talk also, women are going to be different. Like women, like men can go through that stressed adrenal stage for maybe their whole life. Women, it like tends to be like some women, literally, I've worked with like high schoolers or college students that are like starting to get burned out. They went past that stage and their adrenals are so sensitive. And then we have women that most women, it's going to be closer to 40 plus, where it's like, oh, every diet that I was doing is no longer working. And you just assume that it's more of a calorie issue or a carb issue, but it really has to do with you burning out your adrenals. So
yeah.
much more about that.
Okay, so then let's talk about fatigue.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay,
they,
so
so they get
that's some of that's what
high.
you just talked about right there,
Yeah, I
right?
started to blend it. So they're high for a while. You're feeling like you're on this high, and then like there's a shift that happens in your life where you're just like, I'm starting to get more tired. It's like, I can't handle what I used to. And though that's the first sign. After that, it starts to be where it's going to start to drop. Like the cortisol level will drop through the day. And it's more than fatigue after that. Then it's going to be more exhaustion, but it's also more inflammation in the body.
Yeah.
And
And so what happens like let's say, the cortisol's high in the other part, right?
Mhm.
And cortisol is a fat storing hormone. So, and where it tends to put the fat that it wants to store is in the midsection,
Correct.
right? So if all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah. I
well,
can't lose
I
weight.
never had a problem before with
Storing
my
around
midsection,
midsection. Uh-huh.
but now it's like your pants are tighter, things are, even if you diet or whatever, you just can't seem to lose weight. And
Mhm.
then we start to have things like inflammation, right? Oh, my joints hurt. Oh, my gut's not right. Oh, I have headaches.
Mhm.
Oh, I have a skin condition I didn't have before, right? Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're just like something where you're like, "Oh, that's weird." Like I never had that before. Some people even start to lose their hair, which
Mhm.
is not fun. Um, so you describe a little bit more about like burnout
Yeah.
or fatigue,
Yeah.
fatigue.
Yeah, I mean,
Your
it starts to
thoughts.
fatigue, but then it just keeps going down. And yeah, I worked in California with like a world-renowned endocrinologist for a long time, and we saw like lots of celebrities and people come into the office that could barely even get there. Like they pushed themselves beyond the limits. They had all the warning signs, like I'm on a high, I'm doing this movie, this movie, this movie. And then like I'm starting to get tired, didn't listen to their body, kept on trying to diet because gotta be fit, gotta be thin, for that kind of world. And then went to a place where literally could barely get out of bed. So there's
Yeah,
like
and
there's different stages.
that's fatigue, right? That's or burnout. Sorry, we just
Burnout,
talked about
like
fatigue. Okay, so
burned
we go
out.
we
Mhm.
go stress, like so healthy, great, no problem. Then they go super high, right? So overload, overdrive,
Yeah.
and then you do burnout. Wait, what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so if we were to say for you guys to say like just three things, just to make it clear,
Yeah.
it's either tell us whether you have healthy adrenals, whether you think you have like stressed adrenals, high adrenals, or burned out, you know? And it's so, and just to let you know, I mean, we could dive into this topic forever and talk about everything you can do. I do want to share that like a lot of people think that Was that?
I have a comment if you wanted
Go
to,
for it.
but
Uh-huh.
the reason I like the comment is because it kind of says something else.
Mhm.
Um, Jenny says, "Oh, gotcha, midsection. I'd say mine are high, but not fatigued based on how I feel. Diagnosed with Graves' disease about 6 months ago, but getting it under control." That's
Mhm.
another sign, right? All of a sudden you have autoimmune issues,
Yeah. Why?
right?
Because the adrenals like stress the body out so much that they will affect your immune response. Your immune system is affected by your adrenals big time, and it can, like, when do autoimmune diseases happen in the body? When the body is in this like high state of stress.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So stressed. I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then burnout, right? Like
Mhm.
you were saying, we've had clients where it's like they do one workout, right? They're feeling better, right? And then they do one workout and it's not even that hard. It's like a little jog. And then they've got to stay in bed for like a week
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
they don't have the stress hormone.
That's true burnout. I think most
Yeah.
people are probably where Jenny is, where it's like, I've been really hard on my body for a while. I've done a lot. And now you're starting to see the signs of where it's declining the adrenals. And it's a really delicate time. And it's like I'm so glad someone like Jenny is here to know that like it can be fixed. It takes time and patience, but if someone were like that in that situation, were to just do another diet to lose weight, or just like really not take care of themselves on a deeper level, they're going to continue to see a decline, and literally their whole life is going to be harder, more of a struggle, more medications, more diseases, more weight gain. And it's like, it sucks. No one wants to live in that life where they're not in control and they can't figure it out. It has to do with the adrenals. It's the root issue for so many women. And
Yeah.
and I want to be
Yeah.
clear that it's not always like just your life being stressful. Like everyone
Yeah.
just thinks, oh, I'm just stressed. Like, it's just my job, that's it, or it's money issues. It's so beyond just the physical, like, things that are going on around your life. It's your daily habits that you have control of. And sometimes we
Mhm.
can't control things and we're just like, sorry, it's just like my kid's really difficult, whatever. um, it's more of, can you control your daily routines and live in a way that's healing for your adrenals and your metabolism? And there's so much you can do with your nutrition, with your exercise, and with like your daily patterns.
And your mindset too, yeah. And I think very often people don't realize that like not eating enough, like low energy availability, like your whole life is going to be a big stressor to your adrenals, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and so when you talk about nurturing the metabolism, very often we get people eating food where they're like, never eaten this much in my life. And it's like, yeah. But you kind
You're
of
not
need it to
fueling
be.
enough at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. If you're eating like under 1,000 calories a day, right? I mean, I talk to people sometimes, they're like, I eat between like 800 and like 900 calories a day. And I'm like,
Mhm.
it's so low, and I'm not talking about people
So
that are
tough on
like
the adrenals.
5 foot, I would just your
Mhm.
average, your average person. And I'm like, whoa. But
Yeah,
that's like what they're so used to eating. And then that becomes really,
a norm.
and then they can't understand why they're putting on weight.
Yeah. So
It's,
these are
yeah.
like reasons. So instead of just knowing, oh, is like intermittent fasting good or bad for me? Should I do more keto-ish? Like, I don't know. It's less of like what you should be doing, and it's more understanding how your body works. So if you understand that the adrenals like want to be nurtured, especially at this stage of the game, if you're 40 or up, like they have to be like been taken proper care of. And so if you are doing something that's saying, you don't need to eat breakfast, you can wait a little longer. And like your body's like, I'm starved and I even worked out. And I'm like, I can't handle this. Like, you are killing your adrenals. You'll never be able to lose the weight in the long run. It might happen for a short period of time, but then it's going to rock your world. Same with going like keto. It doesn't make sense to not give yourself the main fuel source. So I just so much, our program is built around the concept of you understanding how the metabolism really works and fueling your body and exercising in a way that's healing for it. And mainly, like, we really put so much emphasis on healing the adrenals. The adrenal health is a big deal because it affects everything in the body.
Yeah,
So,
your sleep, your energy.
mhm,
Like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like,
mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we just had a meeting the other day, Stace, and like three of the people are like, yep, wake up at 3 a.m. And it's an adrenal bump at nighttime. It's just used to being up and our brains think a lot. So there's so much mindset that goes with it too. So I don't want to overwhelm everyone. Just put where you are on the scale of those kind of three places. And and just know that you can heal. You can heal your metabolism. And if we were just to say a blanket statement of that you can go home with to be like, how do I want to live my life? Just be kind to your body. Stop depriving yourself. Stop with the negative self-talk. Stop overscheduling yourself. Like live in a way that you can be more present, be little like just enjoying life, but being more in tune with your body because of that. So it's just common sense, but I hope it's a really good reminder for all of you, especially women. We have to do this in order to really live that fulfilling life that we want and be in control of our health and the scale and all of those kinds of things. So I did do a podcast on this topic recently, so we'll put the link in there in case you want to learn more about it. And we also have another training coming up, and where I'm going to do a nutrition class and talk a little bit more in depth about this topic and also about the blood sugar as well. So we'll put some more information out there for you, and just want to thank you if you're watching, and
yeah,
everyone have
thanks
a
for coming, guys.
fabulous day.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.